Hello and welcome to the Car Care channel, and welcome to a very important video. I've owned my shop now for over a year. Before that, I worked at a dealership for years and years, and I have a lot of interaction with customers back then and especially now. And there are some things that I see people say to me that you should actually never say to your mechanic. And this is not about offending your mechanic or he feels bad. No, this is about you making potential mistakes, because if your mechanic is a good one and has good ethics, life is good. But if they're not, they could actually take advantage of you and put you in a situation that is not good for you. Let's start with the first one, and we'll go into details with it right after this. Oh, the good old tune-up. Folks, let's say this first. Please do not walk into a mechanic shop or any repair facility and say, I need a tune-up. See, if your mechanic is good and ethical, they will tell you, sir, ma'am, there is no such thing as a tune-up in modern cars. You only need ABC for your maintenance and we're good. But if your mechanic is not a good one, and more importantly, not an ethical one, this will be kind of an open invitation to upsell you whatever they want under the umbrella of the tune-up. So let's clarify what the term tune-up actually means, or meant, I should say. Cars before 1975, this is what a tune-up was. You adjust the carburetor mixture, you set the points, you replace spark plugs, wires, cab, rotor, all this stuff. You set the timing, the ignition timing of the engine, all this stuff. Folks, majority of cars after 75, most of the stuff started to go away. Points was the first one to go out, and then leading up to electronic fuel injection. Anything made after 2000 or thereon about, there's no adjustments. The computer does all these adjustments in a matter of a split second. And carburetors are a thing of the past. They're completely gone. There's not a single car today that has a carburetor. Carburetors now are limited to lawnmowers. It is so important that you do your research on what maintenance your car needs. It should not be you walking into the mechanic shop and telling them, hey, you tell me what the car needs and let's just get it done. You should actually do your research and have your mechanic verify that yes, you do need this at this interval or not, but not the other way around. And for the tune-up, the only thing that is left is actually spark plug replacement on gasoline engines. And even those, most cars need them every 60,000 miles, and some of them go as high as 120, 150, because spark plug designs and technology have gotten so good that they last a very long time. And even when you take them out at the interval, sometimes they'll look perfectly fine, but that is the whole point of maintenance. You don't wait for something to break down to change it. You're doing it preventatively, and that's why it's called preventative maintenance. So let's forget about that good old tune-up. Let's specify exactly what maintenance we need after you have researched what maintenance your car needs. This one happens at every single shop and repair facility. Customer walks in and say they are a mechanic as well. Let us say one thing. If you are a mechanic, why aren't you fixing your own car? That is the first logical question. But there's so much deeper than that. Many of my viewers are DIY mechanics, and I applaud you guys. You do great work. You take care of your car. You try to do your best. But there are certain things that are outside of your ability, outside of your time limit. You don't have the tools, whatever the case may be. However, when you are not the one wrenching on the car, it is actually in your best benefit to walk into the shop, exit out of your DIY mechanic mentality or your mechanic mentality, and enter into the customer mentality. Because the common thing with folks that work on their own cars, but they bring their car to a shop for something, is have a tendency of telling the shop what to do. Now, good shops will handle that situation differently by assuring the customer that we want to look at the car because we are putting our hands on your car, we are putting our name on this car, so we have to be determining what needs to be done here, not what you give us instructions to do. But the problem is bad shops or bad shop owners or shops that really don't have a moral standard that is By the way, the majority of shops do have a good moral standard. It's the little that ruin it for everybody. They will tend to go by what you say. Don't feel the need to diagnose your car, then take it to a shop, hey, do ABC, because here's what the bad shop will do. They will do ABC exactly as you said and not care about anything else. Should things go south, they will immediately point at you and tell you, we did exactly what you told us. We're not liable, have a nice day, and things will unravel and go south from there. Don't do that. If you know about cars, you worked on cars, you are a mechanic, but this is something outside your skill level, something different, whatever the case may be, exit out of the mechanic mentality, enter into the customer, let the shop figure out what the problem is. However, be precise about your description. Don't tell the mechanic what you have diagnosed, whether it's actual diagnosis, or you read on the forums, or you read on the internet, or you watched this video. Don't tell them that. Explain to them your problem. What are the symptoms you're having? What is the frequency of this problem? What are you feeling? What are you seeing? The mechanic cannot drive your car every day to find a problem, but your input on what the symptoms are, what all the relevant information will help a lot in diagnosis. But you diagnosing your own car based on random information on the internet might be very dangerous when you walk into the shop with that diagnosis, because some shops will take that as cue to do exactly what you want, not really care, and just ship the car out the door. Don't get into that situation, folks. Oh, the good old, I don't know anything about cars, please help me. Folks, good mechanics, when you tell them these exact words, I don't know anything about cars, please let me know what's going on, they will take that as a huge responsibility, because you are fully and blindly trusting them, because you know nothing about the matter, to fix their car and fix it well, reliably. But bad mechanics will take it as open season to pay their next mortgage and 6 more mortgages after that, because you don't know anything about cars. Folks, avoid saying these words. Even if you know nothing about cars, in reality, avoid using this language, because first, you should not know nothing about cars, because we live in an age where information is very available, very easily. There is the internet, there is specifically YouTube, and one small warning about YouTube, and this is kind of going back to the previous point, but it is important. When you look at certain jobs being done on YouTube, it seems so easy. Things are going very smoothly, and a professional mechanic is doing this job. Remember the 2 words, professional mechanic. They have the experience. Any professional in any field will make any job look extremely easy. Why? Because they have the experience. That makes a huge difference. It's like me watching a surgeon do a surgery. I'm sorry, there is one thing I will guarantee you. It'll be a race between me and the first drop of blood, who will hit the ground first. It's the same thing. Same thing with your field of profession. You will be very efficient at what you're doing, but not everybody else, and you'll make it look easy. You need to learn things about cars. You don't need to learn how to do the job, but you need to know basics about cars. And I don't know anything about cars because it doesn't interest me, or I don't really know, I don't understand it, is not an excuse anymore, unfortunately. You should know the basics about your car. You should have the basic understanding of its maintenance at least. Leave the repairs, but the maintenance at least. And even if that is not the case, never say, I don't know nothing about cars to any mechanic, even a trusted one, because that should not be the case. This one is a very important one. Honesty should be met with honesty. If you want your mechanic to be honest with you and do you right, you should meet them with the same way. Don't hide facts from your mechanic. Don't cover things up. Don't present an image that is not there. This is very important. It takes great courage for someone to walk into a repair facility and flat out admit, I damaged my car, or I neglected my car, or I was trying to do something and I caused damage. It takes great courage to say that. And I'm with you, I understand. Nobody wants to admit that they're wrong, but you have to do that, because the course of action or course of correction for your mechanic depends heavily on this information. Because if you've had this car worked on by 5 others that everyone causes more and more and more damage until you fed up and finally found this one mechanic that you're hoping that will finally fix this problem. But when this person goes into the car and sees all these random things that are going on, they're actually going to start to investigate as if this is a new occurrence and nobody's been here at your expense because you did not give them the information. Don't hide information from your mechanic, because this not only starts the relationship of distrust, it actually ends up costing you more, because mechanics are only as good as the information in front of them. Believe it or not, experience matters a lot, but you're the one driving the car. If you don't supply the information needed accurately and not hiding facts and not hiding things, it's going to take the mechanic a lot longer time to actually discover what actually happens. And at that point, they distrust you. People always say mechanics are, not trustworthy, not this and that, but it actually works the other way around as well. If the mechanic does not trust the customer, we have a bigger problem, because now they have a tendency of not wanting to work on this car, because now you're almost like setting a trap for me. Don't do that, and don't hide facts. If you want honesty from your mechanic, start by being honest with them. Don't hide information from your mechanic. Now let's talk about some things you should say, and more importantly, ask your mechanic about. The first one is, what is the warranty on this multi-$1,000 job? See, I rarely see people ask that question, and I think it's a very important question. You're taking your car to get fixed. It's fixed, you're happy, life's good, but what is the warranty on that repair? Or is there any? You should always ask that. I think that's a very valid question, but more important than that valid question related to warranties, do you have an extended warranty? It will surprise you how many customers come in the shop that at the very last minute, I present them the estimate of repair, they're about to go for it, okay, let's set it up, let's get everything squared away. Then last minute I ask them, wait a second, do you have an extended warranty? They pause for a moment, then it comes back. Wait, I do have an extended warranty. Well, that should have been the first thing we say when we walk into a mechanic. Hey, I have an extended warranty. We're not going to expect the world out of this extended warranty, but I have an extended warranty. Depending on what you guys find with my car, might cover it, might not, but I do have it. Here's the information. Every time you walk into a repair facility, knowing that you have an extended warranty, you should be the first thing you hand over, not the last thing. And some people have a tendency of feeling like mechanics don't like extended warranty. I love extended warranty. Do you know why? Because extended warranty pay me the same as you would pay to fix your car. You paid for this extended warranty, you're going to use it, you're happy, that's why you bought it. I get paid to fix the car, everybody's happy, and we all go home, and life is wonderful. Remember that extended warranty. I see so many people forget about it. It's essential that it would be the first thing you tell your mechanic. And the next one is something extremely important. What kind of parts are you using to fix my car? It is almost 100% of people never ask this question. It is extremely sad when I see people come into my shop. They had their car fixed a year or two ago and it's making some noise, and then I look at the suspension. This is one example. Hey, your struts are all aftermarket. Half of your suspension is all aftermarket. It's all falling apart. What do you mean? I thought they put original parts. I'm like, did you ask? No, but I assumed. You assumed wrong. It's as simple as that. If you don't ask, you cannot assume. That's the number one thing. You go to dealerships, most dealerships will use original parts, but that's not always the case. You should always ask, are you using original parts? Because so some shops will not use original parts, and I understand they want to keep their costs down to their customer and whatnot. But if you want original parts with your car, you should ask, hey, I want original parts. I understand they are more expensive, but I am willing to pay for them. For example, in the case of Toyota and Lexus, their original parts are really good, but they're also very expensive. So you should be in control of what goes into your car. It is your choice, and you should always ask for it. If a shop owner gets offended, they will get over it. Ask what parts are going in your car. And if you're working with aftermarket, ask what brands. Understand. You're spending a lot of money fixing that car. You need to know what's happening with your car, starting with what parts are going in it. This is very important. This is one I see so many people not really ask about at all. Folks, I hope your relationship with your mechanic and your experience with your mechanic is a good one, that they are honest, that they do good work, they're professional, they take pride in what they do, and then your car runs wonderfully and you don't have issues, you don't have to worry. And that's the way it should be, and that's the way I hope everybody's experience is. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like it, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some other videos. And until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.